Welcome back. It's that time of the year again where we listen to the President and his government's plans for the year. President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver the State of the Nation address at 7 p.m. this evening. But crippling rolling blackouts, rampant crime, corruption and high unemployment, these are just some of the crises expected to feature in his address. And South Africans don't want promises, they want solutions. eNCA senior reporter Siphamandla Goge joins us now to give us, of course, more updates as to what exactly is expected right from Cape Town. Siphamandla, of course, we heard from Speaker Nosivima Pisanqakula saying that the original old Parliament precinct is expected to be at least fixed up in 3 years' time, saying that there seems to be commitment from Finance Minister, that is, of course, Enoch Godongwana. But from where you stand, what else is there for us?
Well, indeed, this is going to take a bit of time. Remember the damage here, the extent of the damage for that parliamentary building. It's too much, it's too huge, and it's going to cost a lot. I remember last year interviewing Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana about it. He was really concerned about the amount of money that will be needed. We all know now that we are talking in the region of 2 billion. You cannot just let it go like that. You need to fix it, as the Speaker correctly pointed out when she was speaking to my colleague Gareth Edwards, to say, never mind the ongoing debate about relocating it to Gauteng, whether that will happen or not. But the reality of the situation is you need to restore this heritage site, and you need to continue with the business of the day while that ongoing debate takes place about whether to move it to Gauteng. There have been proposals over a number of years about that, but for now the reality of the situation is that, at least according to the Speaker of the National Assembly, for the next 3 years the likelihood is that we will be coming back to the Cape Town City Hall for the State of the Nation address, unless this venue changes. But let me tell you that it's going to be a very big day for President Cyril Ramaphosa today. He's delivering this State of the Nation amid a number of social and economic challenges in the country. The issue of the energy crisis, load shedding, unemployment, poverty, issues of inequality, violent crime, gender-based violence. So all those things, and most importantly, South Africans are really under pressure. The cost of living is too high, interest rates going up. Everything appears to be putting more pressure on the already squeezed South Africans and consumers in this country. So today is very important for the president to give some hope, but hope alone is not enough. South Africans want concrete plans and actions to say, for instance, you've been making noise about the issue of the energy crisis. What will it take to get it done once and for all? What will it take to end this ongoing load shedding once and for all? Hence the proposal about a national state of disaster being declared. The governing African National Congress is of the view that that will accelerate the response to this energy crisis. Hence, our sources were telling us that there is a virtual consultation on that, members of the cabinet discussing the finalities and legalities to say, how do you move around that? Is the president going to announce it? Remember, there are some legalities to take into account here. Are you announcing it during the State of the Nation address, or you wait to finish all the consultations and go through all the legalities, balance and checks, and to ensure that when you announce it, there will be no litigation, it won't come back? Remember, some interest groups and opposition parties are vehemently opposed to it. It's going to be one of the most interesting talking points to watch. But let's wait and hear what the president will say this evening. I'm joined by Xolile, who's the Secretary of Parliament. Thank you very much for your time. Let's talk about the logistics. You support presiding officers here in Parliament in terms of the State of the Nation address. Let's talk about your role and how are things and final logistics for tonight.
Good morning, Siphamandla. Good morning to all the eNCA viewers this morning. All our logistics are on course. We are very excited as Parliament in terms of the level of preparedness that we have put up as Parliament to ensure that today's delivery of SONA 2023 by His Excellency is done in a manner that is very successful. At the same time, it brings hope to South Africans. We hope and look forward to a message that will be galvanizing all of us to make sure that the hopes and aspirations of our people are achieved. So we have put in place systems. We have made significant efforts in almost all facets of preparation for an event of this magnitude and scale. As you will appreciate, that it is not a small task. It's a mammoth task starting from Monday, where we had a memorial service of our first democratic speaker. And this week, we now have SONA. And it continues for next week, debates around SONA and the replies of His Excellency on Thursday. And then thereafter, we are preparing for the budget. So it's just a roller coaster for us, but we are quite confident that all systems go.
You're talking about all those logistics. They require too much time and a lot of planning. How does it feel, or how do you work around this new environment, which is your home now from last year because the parliamentary building was burnt? But how does it feel to work under this so much pressure, putting together so much logistics, and also taking into account that you are not occupying the building that you are used to? Does it make it more difficult to plan?
It is indeed, because it requires not only just ordinary planning. Everything must go in precision, because the conditions to which you are accustomed to, you would appreciate we had a permanent facility, and that facility was already dressed up in all the broadcasting infrastructure, the ICT networks, the reliability in terms of strength of that network. Now we are offsite, and offsite brings on its own a dimension of ensuring that you must make an added effort to test and trial run audio, the stability, at the same time be able to feed to South Africans what is happening inside. So it is an extra test. And we think we are quite ready for the day, and we are excited, and we look forward to successfully hosting the key guests that we have here from international that are here to listen to the message of the President.
Talking about guests, are you able to share with us? I know former presidents are always invited, but are there any notable persons that you can talk to us who are part of the guest list?
Well, in terms of our key guests domestically, yes, former presidents will be here. Former President Beki is confirmed. Former Deputy Presidents Mlambo Ncuka, and former Deputy President and former Speaker Madam Balegambete, and a whole list of other key VIPs that are domestic. We also have guests that are coming from international, speakers of the other countries, that through partnership in the International Parliamentary Union, the guests of the Speaker and the Chairperson from Côte d'Ivoire, from Uzbekistan, and many other places, Pan-African Parliament, President, they will all be here. So we look forward to a very successful event, Sibonga Konge.
Okay. And also you need to liaise and rely on the city of Cape Town to ensure that backup generators are properly functioning. You don't want some sort of embarrassment with load shedding when you have the State of the Nation address underway.
Indeed, we are working very closely with the city, and we appreciate the cooperation, the maximum cooperation, and the support they give us all the time, making this facility available to Parliament, ensuring that all things are running, even ensuring that today we are hopeful in terms of electricity uninterrupted, but in the event there's a need for backup, there's backup infrastructure. And we have discussed those details up to the last point, and we are very confident that all things will be running. Off-site, we will still be here next year, but simultaneously we will be starting the process of reconstruction of Parliament, which we will be announcing to you as media fairly soon, and you will receive the notification in due course.
Because the Speaker has hinted that looking at the projections, it could take about 3 years for that to be up and running, meaning for the next 3 years you will be off-site, preferably here, because you now know this environment, you are able to plan, but the Act and the law does allow you to take it anywhere you want to take it to. Yeah. Are you considering staying here up until the old parliamentary building is sorted out, or you will be adopting a rotational approach, taking it to another venue?
So far, this is the decision of Parliament that it will use the City Hall. Should there be consideration of any other venue taking into account rotational, the Constitution indicates to Parliament the declaration of any place where Parliament can be, its precinct will be regarded and declared as such as Parliament in terms of our Powers and Privilege Act of 2004. It allows us to do that as Parliament. So far, this is a decision of Parliament. Should there be any other consideration, I'm sure we'll be able to communicate that.
I know you are not one of the presiding officers and you even though not be worried about possible disruptions, but you would prefer to see things going smoothly. Are you worried about potential or possible disruptions of the president's speech tonight?
We think there's plans in place that have been worked out to the latter detail, and I'm sure the environment, all of us will be able to ensure that there's a successful delivery of SONA by the President.
Thank you very much for your time. Secretary of Parliament Xolile George there speaking to us, giving us a little bit of background in terms of preparations, logistics and planning for this very important State of the Nation address by the President of the Republic this evening.